Listen. Yeah. Yes, God. Get that out of there.
Hello. Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, whatever time of day it is, wherever you're at on this planet. I hope you're doing well. I hope you're feeling blessed and not stressed because today we are talking about one of my favorite shows that is on the streaming app Peacock, and that is The Traitors. It's season 3. The last episode was episode 4. Oh, we kind of saw the writing on the wall, but we sort of I don't know. The way that I don't want this game to go is kind of where this review and recap is going to take place. There were definitely bad decisions made and obvious points where it was like, now what are you doing? There was, of course, some backstory to that, but I just hope for the future that whatever's happening within the Traitors actually isn't going to be what I think it is. But the Faithfuls, I don't know. I'm loving this season so far. It's a good time, but the way this roundtable went down, the decision on who was taken out with the open coffin situation, I'm like, okay, where is the rest of the season going to go? And some people I need to point out not appreciative of a few accusations. Either way, it is Monday, January 20th. Happy Martin Luther King Jr. Day. For those who should be celebrating everybody here. That's the only thing I know that's happening. And yeah, I'm getting ready for this winter storm that is happening tonight. Everybody is wrapping their pipes. We've already done the full drip of the faucet situation, and it is cold, especially out here for Houston. For some reason, it feels like the temperature is like 10 or 12 degrees below the actual number, and on top of that there's like gusts of wind that are hitting us, so it's like, all right, sit in the house, do all of that. As you can see, I'm bundled up right now as we speak. The cats want to go outside and then they're like, never mind. They always come on, they're like, keep opening the patio, Dad, I'll open it up, I promise you, 2 minutes top. So, like, okay, we're ready to come back in. At this point, I have to tell them, stop asking me to open up this patio. You're not going outside. You have no purpose for the next 72 hours. When we get to possibly Wednesday afternoon, maybe. But like Thursday, you can get back to where you need to go. But I'm tired of opening it up because once I do, my literal temperature in my place drops so quickly, and I have to like put the space heater on and everything because I refuse to let that AC run. I refuse to let that heater run. That power bill has been so low, y'all. I'm enjoying it. AC hasn't run in 2 weeks. So listen, let's go ahead and get to this today. I'm ready to talk about it. I do remember Jamar saying he wanted to be a part of this conversation. I don't know if he's going to be popping in or Dooley here, but I'm going to keep the show rolling because I, of course, want to talk about this episode, but also get to the rest of my evening, and of course prepare for my next couple of days off. As you know, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday there are no videos, but when it is Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and again Monday, we will have things to talk about. On Friday, that will be the new schedule for the Traitors. We are doing this on Mondays, but we're going to be moving that to Fridays from now on. And on Mondays, it's actually going to be the rant report. The membership panel is still coming up. I'm trying to get through this situation right now with this winter storm. And I also had some things I had to pivot on recently at home with loss in family members, this and the other. But yes, I do. Where am I going with this? Sorry, RJ, I appreciate the note. I got off track because I read what you had to say. My ADHD kicked my butt right there in that moment. What was I talking about? No, he got me off track. Boom, 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 boom. Schedule. Okay. Saturdays, of course, is going to be season 17. Sunday is going to be the panel. And again, Monday will be the rant report. So Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursdays, a pause, if you will. If you're on my Patreon, you know you'll have content on Thursday nights with the Traitors episodes. I upload those normally, this and the other. And of course, again, all my links are in the About section. We'll get to those later on in the show. But do me a favor, hit that thumbs up button and make sure you support the channel if you will, whether you get in the comment section and leave your thoughts on this week's episode, or you want to hit the thumbs up button or drop it to be put in my jar. Please and thank you. It's paypal.me/MattyRants, Cash App.SimonRants, and Venmo Matty-Rants. This disclaimer is for the Zac Efron brother lovers. This disclaimer is for the Zac Efron brother lovers, the cop from Big Brother lovers, okay, backwards, bull, crap, hat, Rob lovers today. So anybody on my list of people who I'm just about to go in on, because I'm sick of it. This program is for entertainment purposes only. Content is not intended to belie any Robs, any cops, any big-faced, stupid brother of black, blah, 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 religion, race, gender, company, individual, or wigs. All opinions expressed by MattyRants and program participants, also their personal views and do not reflect the opinions of everyone being on the planet. No hate should be sent in the shows or individuals mentioned on this program. Please don't be rude. Grab the vacation they're happening because Maddie's a talker. You may be here for a while. Don't post any spoilers in the chat because why? And if you feel uncomfortable reviewing this program, it's not my concerns. I'm a grown man, and so you should be. You should be a child watching this. This is not recommended for children, so I don't know why you would be here. You just want to fight. Wabbloo, but abbloo. There you go. But yeah, I have some thoughts today. I don't want the faithfuls to win. I especially do not want Zac Efron's brother to win. He makes my skin crawl almost as much as Tom Sandoval, but because there is a smugness that I do not like about him that bothers me to another level. And Rob working with him makes perfect sense for my fantasy of evil people that I have already placed in my head. I get he played a great game because he already clocked easy, even though the target was wide open. I don't like him. And I'm going to keep that. As well as somebody at the table who decided to use their detective abilities on Sierra in reference to swearing and that making them guilty. And I remember seeing many detective videos about like catching people who have done crimes and swearing being an indicator. I thought to myself, she's actually a faithful, and you use this argument for a criminal here on this game for this girl. And I'm thinking, how many people have you wrongfully convicted or possibly arrested? What are the actual odds in that being true when it comes to this? And you applying it to the game was like, okay. I'm going to talk about some of these traitors who I think are either dead weight or possibly so misfrazzled that they can't figure out how to get the hell up, Carolyn. You're starting to tick me off, girl. I'm a fan, but you're starting to that's all starting to piss me off, lady. You're in trouble. You can see everything, but you don't act on nothing. Danielle, time to ding on in because it's giving me dumb. It's giving me dingbat. And I like Danielle. She is not playing a smart game at all. You got out Jeremy, but now what? That's where I'm at with that one. I'm like, so you got your wish, but then you also lost a number today too that you were supposed to have their back for. I find it gaggy, and I'm not trying to shake Danielle up like this. I'm not trying to hem her up like that because I like her, but I need to clock in. As mad as you were at Brittany for reindeer games, what was it for Baba? What was it for Baba? For Roberta, you could have had a burn vote. Because there were people that were voting for other folks. Now, it wouldn't have been odd for you to do the same. Just saying. Everybody didn't vote for Bob. And as emotional as you've made your case to be as an actress on this show, you're telling me that you couldn't have been, I can't vote for Bob. So I'm gonna have to say this because I can't. I can't. I can't. No. Blindsided at the table. Isn't that a gag? And then mind you, when Bob found out that Danielle was being targeted, he told her. FYI. See again, this is the game where you need to play the game inside the game. And if you're a traitor or even if you're a faithful, you got to be on it. And you have to be ahead of everybody. And who you're aligning yourself with may end up being your demise. And that's the gag. We can go ahead and get to this episode today. Thank you again for tuning in. Hit that like button, share and subscribe. Become part of this Rant Pack family. I appreciate every single one of you for being here today. If you want to drop it to be poo in my jar, please and thank you. Send me hot cocoa fund. Hot cocoa, sugar free. Hot hot cocoa fund. PayPal to me for such rants, catch up to Simon Rants, Venmo Rants. If you're in the Houston area, make sure that you are safe tonight by wrapping those pipes or possibly getting your faucets to drip with both hot and cold. They are saying it's going to be a serious storm. That hits overnight, and you know how it goes with this city. We always say we're prepared, and we've dealt with this before where it ended up causing days without power and time, this and the other. In my area alone, they're forecasting about 4 inches of snow, which is unheard of. I think it's like 3 to 4, but that's still unheard of. So like it's supposed to be like almost all day sort of situation, whatever. The following day, black ice. So if you have to go to work, please be careful because I know Houston roads, especially the freeway, 45 in particular, you're going to slide. You're going to slide and it's going to be a baby. I remember I played bumper cars with somebody on the road before on black ice. We didn't even like get out to do an insurance claim because we just wanted to thankful that we were all alive. But the fact that me and another car were sliding on the road and tapped each other like that and still were able to keep on going. I'll never forget it. On 45, right there by the Mattress Mac place. That's scary. So again, be careful out there. But yeah, let's go ahead and get to this right now. She needs to clock in. Gabby needs to clock in. I kind of like Gabby, even though she sometimes when she's talking, I'm just like, what? Because like, yeah, this house is really weird. And these people, I saw the door open and all of this stuff. And then I can hear Danielle's voice. Like, what? Do you know how close you were to victory? You were so close to victory, but that ponytail must have been grande. And thank you, next, you went off in the wrong path. You need to come back through this again. You're almost there, Gabby, but you're about to get got by the dumb Zac Efron brother. Now, mind you, these two are coming out of the bookcase looking like this, but I have questions to ask. Because you're telling me when you come out of here, we're not having this conversation already. It's sort of like, I saw something and I heard Danielle, but I don't know. But when all of them come out, they left it open? No one thought to close the bookcase? Were they supposed to keep the bookcase open so that they knew that somebody had like been in there and it caused a faithful to then go in to do some sort of hunting so it wasn't so, like that this part I did not clock in and understand with. And this is the first we're going to do this is a case study today. This is where a lot of things could have happened in Bob's favor, where Bob could have stayed in the competition had he been aware. And if I was playing this game, how I would have worked it. But again, we're all viewing the show from the edited perspective versus being inside the house. So take what I say with whatever grain of salt and then recognize this is for a show for entertainment purposes. But like, this is the first part of my argument that I would have had at that round table. Damn. And this all could have been handled differently had I kept my mouth shut. And I'm speaking on Bob's behalf. You telling me he come in here, no one else is winning there. Gabby didn't go in there. She just saw it open, like, oh my God, and walked away. He's Snoop-a-doop, okay? Very much giving this variety of, I need to find something. It has to do with Bob. I wonder if it smells like their perfume, whatever. They come in the room, they're looking for something, they can't find anything. Danielle was just in there. Danielle wants to play. What? What's happening? What? Oh, this is weird. What an interesting room. Sierra walking on in here. Now, ding, ding, ding. These three people in this room. Sierra is already on a list, about to be up, to be removed from the house. I need y'all to please clock in. We already. I thought to myself, like, this is not really happening. I'm not watching this show. I'm not watching someone play a chaos card and not realize how to play the damn card. We have a live, I want to say extermination so bad because of Dracula, but a live elimination where three people are going to be put in coffins that were already assigned by the traitors while everybody was sitting around minding their own business. And when they wake up the next day, they'll know who is gone. Normally, you wouldn't know who is being targeted. And so this time it's now you know the three that they are considering on being taken out. So as they come down to the stairs and they do all this sort of stuff, Alan coming, giving you very flamboyant extra and drama. Love how Alan dresses. Sierra, Jeremy, and Nikki are nominated. Nikki, because Nikki also is intuitive and she's easy target right now because of the group of girls that she's with. It can be planted and plotted against them. Sierra is fodder. It works against her too. She doesn't really have an argument. I'm a nurse. I like to swear. Ooh, okay. And Jeremy, because that's Danielle's number one on her hit list because Jeremy has already mentioned her name. Bob even like who was it? Was it Bob or Wes? I forget who it was that told her that Jeremy had looking out for her. But it's like, again, she's paranoid. So she wants to get the person who's already has her name out immediately, which again, isn't smart. Maddie, why is that not smart? Well, if he had been talking to somebody about Danielle consistently and thinking that they should be out, okay, and then he then gets eliminated, I would be thinking as the person who was talking to Jeremy before they were eliminated, Danielle's the one that got rid of them. She got wise to what was going on because clearly they were faithful. Hello. I wouldn't be thinking of Jeremy because he's the one talking about Danielle. Not everybody was out there just yet. Gabby, now mind you, heard, but we're going to get to the dinner table conversation that, again, that would have been removed from the table, but it also could have put Danielle up and not Bob. Danielle could have gone before Bob. Mikey. Thank you, RJ, for that information. Appreciate it, babes. Moving forward here, we get to the arguments that are put in place for this. God, she looks so crazy to me. She looks crazy to me sometimes. I'm like, Danielle, are you okay? Sarah's like, I'm not an effing faithful. And when I get out of here, vengeance is mine. Okay. Bet. Jeremy, come on, guys, and do. And said, but now, Jeremy, I don't know about this part. I'll work with you if you don't take me out, like to the traitors. Imagine if Jeremy came back in after just saying that. Again, I would not have eliminated him. I wouldn't have. Come on. If you get me out, I'll work with you. Bitch, we could have used that storyline. We could have taken advantage of that at a round table as a traitor. We could have easily executed him. Nikki, I'm a faithful. If I come back, it wasn't a lot, but it was enough. And to me, I'm thinking, who is the easiest person to take out of this group? I would take out Nikki because she's a number from the Bambis, and you know that she runs with the girl group. Sierra's kind of like doing her own thing, pretty girl rocks, whatever. Carrie Hilson CD in her face at a Walmart. Thanks, Beyonce B-Day. But Jeremy wouldn't have been removed. I would have been able to use this later, if you will. Camellia, we're going to get to that, especially at the round table, because that argument was flawed and it also represented how I feel about a certain group of people that are like, back it up. And I'm like, not every person that swears is guilty. That is the stupidest art. That's such a Christian argument That is such a Christian argument. Like, and I'm full on the Father, the Son, the Holy Spirit over here. Amen. But like, that is such a very, very telling argument. Like, that's very like you're running on those lines of like borderline like human decency and like very much Christian evangelical, like full on, if it's not of this, then it's full on the devil. Like that stuff bothers me when people use as arguments, because I know a lot of people that swear that are decent fucking people and do right and do everything good together, but like not everybody it's not a sign of immaturity, and it's not a sign of a lack of intelligence either. It's just like, give me a break. Regardless of all that, let's stay on topic here. Tom Sandoval needs to be kept, unfortunately, as much as I cannot stand to see his face. Tom is an idiot. Keep him around. Baby doesn't know what the fuck they're doing. Wow. The way this man, I won't even. I mean, it is a smart thing to think that a traitor would be in one of those coffins. I can't let that roll, but it's afterwards what takes place and how he's never on the money. He's never on the mark. It's never there. But they take out Jeremy, which I thought that sucks. To be fair, I like Jeremy. Jeremy was cool. I thought he was good TV, but this is where at the beginning of God, no, I'm sorry, this is not the beginning, but this is the second part of my point about where Bob could have actually been safe today had he just kept his mouth shut. But again, he was looking out for his girl, and she's not really looking out for him. She's just talking that shit, looking disheveled and fuck. Anywho, Gab over here talking about the bookcase. Guys, excuse me, girls, listen, I'm not Jennifer Coolidge. I'm totally younger, but I kind of sound like her because, yeah. But listen, like, all I know is the bookcase was open, and it's like, what? And I was like, whoa. And you know what I heard? Danielle was talking for sure. So, like, something happened in that bookcase. So, like, we gotta ask that question. Robin sounds like a feminine Kermit the Frog. Well, we're gonna do all that bullshit there, while Dolores does her cop due diligence because she's all part of that as well. And just listening to what everyone has to say so she can pull it and give it to a man later. Oh. And Chriselle sitting in the corner looking pretty. No shade. Yes, like Gabby and Robin were full on taking that up. It was low key a sketch that only Jim Henson can think of, but we're moving in, Pat. We're doing too much here. I have a question. Sam, your purpose is to drop hints that you dated someone who we actually give a fuck about. Is that right? Is that your purpose here on the show? And to be beautiful. Because there are times where I'm like, oh, Brittany, I get it. I'd been on my hands and knees too. Would have been. Arched back. Would have been. But I'm also like, this moment here, I love the headband. Yes, Brittany loaned it to me. Of course, we're going to make that more than what it was. Of course, there's the light mention of it. And it's Chriselle's face where it's like, yeah, I feel this is that face, Chriselle, because you weren't really feeling the bit, if you will. Like, I'm just saying, like, I'm tired of him motherfucking opening his mouth and it being some sort of reference to her, and you're making your life and living off of her still, you mooch, you leech, you bastard. Excuse me, this program, oh my goodness, is for entertainment purposes only, and content's not intended to blind any religion, race, company, Sam's, individuals, or wigs. And these are just my opinions. Please don't take me seriously here. No hate should be sent to anybody that we talk about today. I'm sorry. He really irks my nerves because I'm like, oh, I get it. I understand the man is fine, but like, that's it. I don't think we would even give a fuck about this man at all if it wasn't for that woman. Period. Carolyn, get your dumb ass up. I love you, baby. You are playing the weirdest game of emotional warfare against yourself. It is wild seeing you operate. We're not making the right decisions. Then you make them. You stand your big titty ass up and you do something. I like you, Carolyn. Good hair, too. Great individual. Lovely personality. Fuck out of here with this. You better. What is her zodiac sign? If she's a Gemini, find the other twin. Huh. Please stand up, Carolyn, because you look silly. I'm watching you literally go, we're making the wrong decisions, and you're a part of them. All right, this is the part where I knew, and Bob was here for this, mind you, in this particular situation when it came to Danielle and, bleep bleep, that's all, folks. But Gabby talking about who was behind the bookcase, because there are things that were going on down there, and everybody's listening. Danielle and this smug bastard. Listen, nobody else said they were there, and this may have been an edit, but again, nobody else said they were in that room. And everybody's already finding this suspicious. And her dumbass opens her mouth and says, her and Smug McTug over here, okay? I would have allowed her to sink her own ship, and now he's been put in it too. And then guess who else was in the bookcase when they come in the room? Because if I was Gabby and I'm about that life, so wait, Nikki, got Sayara, were you in the bookcase too? Because like I don't think Nikki was, because I was with Nikki. So like, do you know about? Yeah, I went in the bookcase. I was with. Yeah, it was us. Bob. Hold up. I've been quiet. Oh, them three right there. Them three right there as a traitor. Oh, and Danielle, I'd have been like, I have to find a way to get her out of this. But Dylan, especially after coming for Bob, and then the other day it was like somebody else. Like, oh yes, like the full argument that Boston Rob gave was someone's always trying to deflect. We could have had that same one for Dylan. Zoop, and then got him out before a traitor was ever got out. But I'm watching a different show than everybody else because Roberta decided to defend them in this moment. The person who actually is coming for your ass right now, by also putting themselves in the room too. Well, I was in the room too. And yeah, I think everybody's been in and out of the room. Like RJ was saying that the bookcase is open so people go in and out of it. But no. No one was speaking up to that POV. Allow the room to receive what was just said, let it absorb unnaturally, and sit back on it. Someone could easily say later, well, the thing is normally open, but you could still go, but it's still kind of suspicious that there were 3 people that were in that room. And then the decision was made about someone going home. And they weren't with us when we were all sitting down talking about who could the traitor be. Hello. Bob would have been here still. This is the first moment where I saw him and I'm like, Robert, my good Judy that I danced with at Mickey's bitch, okay? My sister Roberta Bob, the drag queen, who you still owe me a game in Smash Brothers, bitch. We talked about that the last time on FaceTime I saw you, ho. I'm watching my friend literally make the dumbest decisions. I'm like, girl. But then I also, and I want to preface this, Bob, 2 weeks prior to coming on the show, had just lost their mother. As a son who has also lost their mother before, the emotional state that you are in, especially when you're close to a family member, oh baby, you're not gonna be there all the way. And in my feelings and opinion with Bob, the emotions were very much raw for him, and he's doing this as a way, this is just my perception, as a way of removing the pain that they're consistently having to sit with when they're at home, and going somewhere else, like a show like this, where they get to be creative, where they get to lie, where they get to have fun and just do something different. And what for him, especially when we got to the round table and the emotions he had for Danielle in that video I saw in reference for how it hurt him, he also, I feel, and then Bob, I'm not speaking for you, this is just me reviewing the situation, looking at this from the outside perspective, getting you as an individual. you were tying some of those emotions into decisions that were being made, and that was affecting the gameplay because you needed to play more stealth, and it was becoming a little too boisterous, and it was a little too loud. And sometimes the loud one in the room is always going to be the target, because yes, season 1, there was one guy in particular I could not stand, and he got far because no one wanted to take the shot early. There were no Dylans in the room to get him because he also was white and straight, but it just, this was the moment I saw his game gone right here. I said, you easily could have pivoted on this for Sierra and Dylan. You could have saved Danielle because they weren't thinking that. And the person who was championing that decision is gone. If needed, you could have pivoted to Danielle if you had to, because she literally just did that to you because she didn't want to look crazy. And I'm sorry, but you fucked up here. And you're going to fuck up again too, real bad. This also, for me, was an indicator. If I was a detective and a police officer, I would think right here, a person sitting in my face that you say you trust the most, after clearly talking about people being in a bookcase room, and possibly being guilty of conspiring to send someone home, when your first fucking thought and thing to come out of your mouth is, you know what I think, a traitor? It's probably going to be someone like a girl next door. Immediately targeting Gabby. We just had someone deflect off of the situation to say no one in the bookcase did that, to then you now turning and immediately gassing it up to her without allowing something to breathe. This is why I don't understand how certain traders are operating and moving. You see Rob being quiet. That's why I respect Rob in terms of being a trader. I can't stand him as a person, but that man's not talking. He's letting everyone speak and only respond. That is how you should operate. You can lead conversations when you have something concrete. When you start to then throw things out there, like they say, an argument can be used. You're trying to deflect and get everybody. I would love to be on the show. They would have to get me out early if I was a faithful. But I also wouldn't be making my moves quick. I would have to build substantial evidence through 2 attacks. It has to be at least 2. I can't come to the table with one person who was taken out. It's got to be an A and a B. My C only, when you go through your plan and your works, C only applies if you have to pivot to somebody else who is the obvious choice of the group. But the one you want to get everyone to change their mind, you need an A and a B. Because if she butts you, you can be, well, here's B. What about that? I got some super chats. Thank you for the super chats on this crisp, wintry day. Martin Luther King Day, actually. Martin Luther King Jr. Day. Happy birthday, Martin Luther King Jr. Is correct? I'm going to make sure I got this right, because that's the only thing I see that's happening today. Yes. Martin Luther King Jr. Day. That is right. Yes, beautiful day. Shout out to Martin Luther King Jr. Day. The only day I'm celebrating today. Crash, thank you for the super chat. I'm not even watching this show, but I love listening to you break down the theater of the absurd, especially on a day like today. Happy MLK Jr. Day and not what? Thank you, Crash. Appreciate you. Peace to Mateo. Basically, stay low or catch a halo. What did Bob say? Like, it was talk shit, get hit. I'm like, that's literally what was happening to you, babes. You kept bringing up scenarios. You kept dropping what ifs. You kept saying, well, how about if that and da 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 da. Sometimes you don't need to be the one to lead the thought process behind the group. Sometimes you can just let some people just speak. I don't know. Maybe that's Bob's personality. Regardless of it all, I just thought there were so many instances where, yes, the plan of action that you had to pin this on Sierra and Nikki was right there, and you could have also put others into it. But because we want to be loud, we lose our gameplay. It was sad to see Jeremy go. It was sad to see 2 Black people get knocked out in this episode. 2 Black, one non-binary and one man. Low key, I was over here like, well, damn. I said, at first everyone was like, the women getting knocked out. I said, ooh, wee. I was like, this is looking real familiar. And I'm not going to say that's what it is. I'm just going to say from a visual standpoint and the emotions I felt this week all in one episode, two bald black men, black men and they them. Yeah. I was like, oh. I said they had something against the Ball brothers. I'm kidding, because you're like, Bob took him out. I know. But I still was like, well, damn, all the color is leaving the room. And then Sierra was like a topic too. So I was like, well, shit, Daniel, you about to be the last one up there again. Oh my God. Shut up, Matt. But no, moving on. I did like Jeremy. I just was like, this was, a wild way to go. Carolyn is like so distraught. And I'm thinking to myself, you're going to have to stop doing this thing that you do. I don't know if the forehead's not moving and the lower part is, because I like her, but we're making the wrong decisions. Like, it's going to really be a wrong decision again when we get to this round table. But like, just the way, I was just all right. Alan comes in, makes a witty pun and a nice little rhyme. Tom Sandoval is a genius, apparently, because he totally knows it's Sierra. Totally knows it's Sierra. It's gotta be her. I got it, you guys. I totally figured it out. Totally. Wes is thinking Nikki. Everything the traitors were trying to do is happening exactly how it's supposed to. Even after what happened at the table, y'all not clocking in. Everything that they wanted to do is happening. Everything. All of it. Boston Rob doing his work. All of it's moving into place. The only person who is still focused on the Black Drag Queen is Zac Efron's brother. The inkling is still there, and he wants to consult with also another police officer, Dolores, trying to figure out how they can change everyone's minds. It's got to be them. Look at them. They fit the profile. It's got to be them. Gotta be them. I have a feeling, just please. I know who their least favorite character in Minecraft is. Let me tell you something. No, Zac Efron's brother was really, really trying to gots to get him out. Gots to. I mean, he was right. I mean, you could tell. I mean, I'm just saying, you could tell. I just fucking hate his face. I hate his face. I hate his face. I hate how he smiles when he's being. God, between him and Tom's, like, I just took a bump face, like, yeah, it drives me just a tad bit. Like, he is so thirsty for it. It's just, oh my God. It's nothing about it's cool. It's just very, ew. Because the next two people he has on his list are completely off. Like, oh, he knew, not him targeting the gays. The gays and the girl who's supposed to be the only black woman. Ah, that's wild thinking about it. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. But he did say his next two were Bob H and Sierra. So no, actually, excuse me, Gabby. It still applies. A girl that vibes with the gays. Bob couldn't possibly be it. Couldn't be Bob. I'm making this up. I am. I'm just talking. Don't take me seriously, but you can think if you want to. These statues look like chopped off panes, if you will, for a second. But I thought this challenge was very telling. And again, no one is acting upon the things that are taking place. Everybody sort of complains, talks that good shit in their confessionals. But when it comes down to it and it's time to vote and we get to the table, you're not clocking in. They are told they have to carry up bodies of statues and heads at the top. It's going to be 10 and, of course, 2,000 a pop within 45 minutes. The thing is that 45 minutes, 10 statues, there's way more than 10 of you. The statue heads have their names on it. And for those of them that are up there and with the statues erected, they get a shield, so they cannot be taken out in the middle of the night by the traitors. Now, this does not save them from the round table. It just saves them from being murdered by a traitor. Again, he says the heads have the names on it. The bodies are just the bodies. You need both to make something happen. I'm going to tell you right now, the moment he said that, grab my head. I'm at the top of this mountain waiting for the first body. You didn't grab nobody. If you help me erect my statue, we will go and get yours and then put it on another and then say fuck the rest of it. That's how I would have done this. Please. And the men clocked in. Of course they did. They clocked in. The women, I don't know what happened and who did this thing of thinking like, let's just carry these things together. You're crazy. Carry your fucking head up there. Everybody leave a body. And then we're going to really like rock, paper, scissors this out, or possibly having to decide by majority rules. We could have been up there. Everything could have been up there. I'm just saying they could have had time to get everything all the way at the top and then decide who gets what if they really wanted to. But that's not what happened. That's not what happened. They made it within the time, but it was also like, come on now. JMCL, thank you so much for the tippy poo on Cash App. I appreciate you, baby. Oh, for being such a delightful distraction today. We had better things to talk about. Things that are actually not about, celebrating, hurting a portion of people. In a video game that I like to play called Marvel Rivals, because Marvel Rivals is an interesting free to play game. Did you know you can have Marvel Rivals for free? This is not a paid promotion, not at all. Not a paid promotion at all. It's not. It's not one. It's not. I promise. It's definitely not. You see my channel. It's not. Well, I was trying to find a way to get around that loop, and I found my way back on the freeway again. I thank you. Okay. I almost forgot where we're at and what this is. Okay. Yeah. You forget. They own all of it. Okay. To get off to get back to Traitors, but to give you my take on how I feel the next 4 years are going to be. In terms of Star Wars movies, this would be a mixture of, I want to say, Attack of the Clones and The Empire Strikes Back. Yeah. Yeah. It wasn't a good day for the good guys. Yeah. It was, but nobody won. That's how I feel currently. If you, in my own mood and mindset, it's very heavy on Empire Strikes Back, but it has the same feeling I had at the end of Attack of the Clones, where I was like, "Well, no one won. No one won. Everyone got away kind of safely, but there's so much ahead that's about to be bad." And Jar Jar Binks, oh my God. Oh, get ready. Oh, get ready. Get ready. We're going to see a lot of, I can say this now. I can do this now. We can say what we want. Oh my God, get ready. Well, they can't, we can't say anything, but I don't know. Let me get back to this. Let me not talk about that. No, no more talk of that. No more talk. No more talk of that. Let's stay away from the real world. Let's talk about reality television. Things that were edited for our consumption as viewers. Let's get back on topic. This is the disclaimer to get back on topic. Matty can't sing a song. Dibba-dabba-doop-a-dap-a-dap. All right, thank you. This is another moment where I'm frustrated with Roberta because I'm like, why the fuck are you trying to direct the Navy here? Why are you trying to direct these people? What's going on? You guys, this is what we should do. We should get this out now. Now that first challenge, yes, necessary and needed. Nobody knew each other. We're trying to get some money. We have already seen people go. We have already seen people clock, and we know the tea is real. What are you doing? No one's listening to me. And you're gonna do something else later before you do something else later. That's gonna make me go, what the fuck is going on here? Girl, talk about I'm just gonna grab my head and look like a faithful. And that also makes you look like a traitor too, but no shade. Women were carrying up bodies, men were carrying up their heads. Tom made sure his was up there because he doesn't want to go home. He needs this money. Tom ain't doing well. Are they still in business? I wouldn't go there. That man sweats and he's angry. And he's a liar. And has bad taste. Shout out to Sam. He started to help after he got his shit up there. But Bob also was going through their own struggle because they had a heart attack not too long ago that thank God they survived, but it's been a little different for them as far as fitness is concerned. And they were considered the fitness guru from, Biggest Loser. So for Bob, it was a tough day to actually come to that sort of like, oh, this is for real. Like, they knew they were tough and all that, but it's like, whoo, today it's we on camera with this. Like everybody knows how much I used to push these girls. Like now I'm over here struggling to get up the mountain, but they made it through. Gabby, I was laughing because right here it was so funny. Like once again, the men are like totally doing the girls dirty. We are the mothers of your children. We are the caregivers. We are your wives. We are the people who are like, and I'm thinking to myself, not a single one of you have birthed any babies from any men on this program at all. I love you, but I thought this was so ass backwards and telling. Miss Thing, if you were to dare go, women can do just as good as men, I'd have to refer back to this argument here. Where you were like, it's not fair. We but we have babies. How dare you? Like, what? Like, she's fucking funny. And I like her a lot. She's funny. This part, I just thought to myself, like, this is wild. Like, how dare there not be like men? Mm. Like, I'm a girl. I just thought it was so funny. She is a hoot. I kind of see now that Bob's gone, I don't want them to get rid of her too soon because her confessionals are actually a key for me. And I just like when she's like, okay, girls, listen, like, we need to talk. Okay. Like, I totally thought. I'm sorry. It's the way because Nikki doesn't sound a bit like him, but is like clicked up with her and Chriselle. And Chriselle kind of sounds like Gabby, but not as airheadish. So it's the way, I don't know. It's just so funny. It's like the Ashleys are talking, and I'm watching Recess all over again. No, 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 no. No, can't be girly pop because these people actually know what they look like inside of their bodies, piece to Mateo, and aren't on the internet gaslighting their audience and lying and telling stories about things, nor are they, getting rid of their animals and not giving a fuck about them, or possibly, being that kind of person that it would never be, would never be. Couldn't be. Would never travel to a state with their animals, end up losing the animal in that state, leave their animal in the state during the winter, and go right back to their life like it's nothing. would never, I don't think any of these ladies would ever do that. Ever. Wild. Ever. Anywho, let me move on. I will never, she can never, like, I'm sorry. You can't say shit. Like that is one of the wildest things I have seen on the internet, on the YouTube world. Okay, quick story. A YouTuber, because she likes to flag channels and she likes to, like, you know, dox people and all that kind of stuff and play victim. She does that kind of shit very well. But ALR is her initials, Nassim Berlin Reed or whatever. I very much let me be quiet. I was about to say some shit, but she's always in a relationship, and it's one of those girls, and I'm not gonna say it's like a big girl who wants to show that people love them because they're bigger and da 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 da. But her and Chantel at Foodie Booty do that thing, and they don't realize it. But I know they do. They do it intentionally to be like, we're big girls and we still get love. And it's like, well, yeah, anybody can get love. Like, what are you talking about? But regardless of all that, she's with this new person now who has a history of being an FEEDER. And the person who they were last with literally, yeah, like from complications in reference to this. Okay. So now she's with the person with that history, but they say it's not that, right? Anywho, to wrap the story up, she ends up leaving a state that she was in to not move in, but to stay there for several, I guess, weeks, and brought her animals, had her car packed up. Okay. Like I'm still can't get over this. And got there, and it was all okay. It was cool and all that kind of shit, right? But then her cat ran outside and didn't come back in. And unfortunately, and I think it's really a case of the girl is 500 plus pounds, so she can't just run outside and go find her animal without being out of breath or possibly hurting herself. So when the cat ran outside, it was like, oh my God, I can't go get this cat. Like, I kid you not. And so they made their stud girlfriend go out there and look for them, but they didn't find them. And I guess they only spent a few days there looking for the animal. But she said, well, I got to go back home, even though you kind of packed everything up and brought your animals with you for several weeks to be somewhere, and left the cat up there. So the cat could have easily been in the elements as a cat that's not from that state. And then people are saying it got adopted, but they're like, no, that's not the cat. Because they think that someone picked it up and it got adopted. I don't know. It's wild. Like, Sasha, I know I hate the story too. And it's a portion of YouTube. Girl world is nuts. But like, I'm not judging Amber or Foodie, even though Foodie literally wore bronzer for this most recent video and wanted to pretend and cosplay almost in blackface, if you will, which was wild to me today. She's like, do I look white? I could not believe I saw a white woman in Muslim garb in a hijab put bronzer on and ask her audience, do I look white? I cannot believe it today. But again, let me get off of that. This is not Traitors. This is, and I don't want to be in that world. I don't want to go into the reactor world of like girl world, because that they do way too much over there. But like, that should happen today. There are videos. It's literally on the internet now, and she could. Everything I thought about that girl being a race fetish person is true. So I was like, okay, I was corrected. I leave it at that. But anywho, off of that, that's just some YouTube drama and stuff like that. So moving on. But back to Traitors. Sorry. I had a joke and I'm like, I have to explain that joke. I can't. Anywho, some people have clocked in, others haven't. There's also alliances that work here, because you can see certain people's heads were posted up and others weren't. This is the third time that Bob has made a mistake today. This is the third time, maybe even fourth, that I may have missed a mark, or possibly I could not be counting correctly. Why do you tell Sierra, in the middle of her carrying a body up the hill, in front of Tom, who you were there for and present when he mentioned her name as being someone that is a traitor? would tell her, girl, everyone thinks you're a traitor. What? Yes, bitch, wake up. Bob, she's literally carrying up a statue with the dumbest person in the house who actually could take this and seem somewhat plausible of a human being. You want to go home. There's no way. Sierra literally is ending this thinking, oh my God, they're about to send my ass home. And I just had them tell me like that straight up in the middle of a challenge where I'm supposed to be carrying up a body. Please, can someone put my head up there? Wes, no one's targeting you. Wait till we get to that round table. It was the sloppiest $20,000 I've ever seen. Sloppy $20,000, I'll tell you that. They got it though. Congratulations to them. But it's clear that there were only a few people, like you say, from the challenge of 10 statues that would be saved from being murdered in the middle of the night by the traitors. That was Chriselle, Wes, Bob H, Boston Rob, Zac Efron's smug face brother, Dolores, Danielle, Brittany, Tom, and Bob the drag queen. Does anybody else notice something? There are 3 traitors that have shields. Carolyn does not have a shield, but you can see that 3 of them. There's a lot going on. Okay, I was like, as a faithful, I would have been like, something's not right here. Something ain't giving. I don't know what it is. Something's not giving. Like, what's going on? Hold on, Aaron. I want to give a shout out to you. This is the first live I've been able to catch in like a year. Love you, Matty. Love you, Aaron. I love this picture, by the way. Thank you so much for tuning in today. And everybody else that's here for this live, hey, thank you so much for tuning in. Hit the like button, share, subscribe. Drop a tippy boo if you feel like it. Tippy jars down there. But I just would love to hear from you in the live chat as well as the comment section after this video. So I appreciate you for being here. Those are the people who have the shields. Bob has a moment, and this is beautiful, and I'm glad Bob was able to overcome his struggles physically after his heart attack. Alan, in this lovely outfit, asks a question if anyone feels sort of wronged by not having a shield going forward. I cannot believe, I still can't get over this. I cannot believe, and I said, and this was the nail in Bob the drag queen's coffin. This was it. After the entire day of you doing the most, and I swear to God, Bob, I put this on everything in my mind. In my mind, you would have still had a day. After everything that just happened, they were still thinking about Nikki, and they were still thinking about Sierra the whole day, girl. The only person that was looking at you was Zac Efron's brother. It's the only person. That's it. And Dolores was clocking in, but she's going to do like she does on the Housewives and play the fence and not say your name because she likes you so much, but then talk about you behind your back, but then be in the middle of it, but then totally side with Teresa because she doesn't want 2 inches of forehead to get her later because there's going to be a problem. But she wants to be over there with Margaret's ugly ass, and it goes on from there. Hey, girl. The thing is that, and me and C Diggy talked about this. I kind of, we have a panel chat and we talk or whatever about this show and other shows. And so we were going down the line, and everyone has their take on this. Okay, I'm a little bit more on the even scale of yes and no, and others can be more no immediate or yes all the way, right? One of my argument points I had with C Diggy about this part was he didn't necessarily say Rob's name. That didn't have to actually put it on Rob. There are 2 other people who walked in that house. Peppa Pig, the police officer, and one of my favorite gingerbread men, Wes. Personally, However, Rob is still included in that bubble. And that's the problem. Rob didn't have to do what he did, but he needed to do what he did because eventually, yes, that would have came up later. That would have came up later. And Durga, this is where I need, and this is why I like Wes sometimes when it comes to like challenge stuff and how he's very good at manipulation and very good at presenting points. Let that man cook. You let that ginger man cook. You let him cook right now. You let him cook. You let him, they better let him cook. They better let him breathe. They better let him do his work because he can see it. And Bob told on him before he left the room. He told on him. He literally alluded to Rob being the person who he is. Like, oh, so you're calling me because I can call you. So you're getting me because I'm you, is what he said. I was like, is no one receiving this? Like, he just said, you are me and I am you, and you wish you could do what I'm doing because they're both traitors. I would have immediately picked up on that. I was like, oh my God, this is he's basically cooking him. He turned his back the whole bit. We'll get to it too. I'm gonna talk about how that broke down for me and how I can tell you Zac Efron's brother's a bitch. Because like you're a punk. You had to let Rob like start your argument up because you got like pretty much laughed at the last time. So it was the whole smile of like, I'm so happy. It's so hard to come for you while he was smiling. I was like, oh, bitch, I would want to sock him in the face. Like, girl, shut up. Anywho, Bob, this was too much. A straight man is going to see through it. Listen, let me tell you this right now, baby. Okay. A punk talking too loudly in straight spaces, baby. You might as well been at a sports bar, and this was We're Here, and you was at a full geesh moment right there, Bob. Okay, I'm just playing for it. I'm playing. There was a baseball game on, and y'all came in and interrupted, trying to film your shit. I've had it. Do you? He didn't know what slur to call you. Whoa, sweetie. He said, "Oh my God, this." He didn't know what slur to use. It was like a wheel, bitch. Like a hidden block just right above my space. I can't. Oh, he was hot. He was hot, baby. Could not believe that he even did that. Like, how are you going to do it? And when I tell you, because he already knew that there was blood in the water and he already saw that smug bastard over there that wanted to get Bob out, he knew exactly what to do. He didn't even say Bob's name correctly. We need to get the drag queen Bob out. I was like, oh my God. Oh my God. This is wild. That man went on mission mode and immediately wrapped the house. Like, and he was doing it individually, trying to get the majority of the numbers. Mind you, Wes didn't want to run with this. Wes was like, no, I'm going to do my own little thing. I'm going to do my own thing. I'm going to do my own thing. I have a feeling about something. I'm going to do my own thing. And while Wes was wrong today, he did like Durga, like we talked about, he smelled something off that, like, oh, okay, I was wrong about Nikki. However, and that's a smart move to make. You did get someone out that you needed to get out. However, you have seen the shark that took the first bite out of the other sharks in the water. Like Carolyn said, way too soon. Way too soon. We're 4 episodes in and you already got a traitor out? Oh, way too soon, sweetie. Way too soon. Way too soon. Like, please pay attention to the room. I thought it was even wild that he talked to Danielle and he talked to Carolyn about this. And it was very much under the guise of, I think the votes are going to go towards Bob tonight. So we better like go with the group. Not even realizing that he's the one that orchestrated this because Bob said that all the newbies should be looked at because they're the ones that are like, you know, a newbie should have gave this, that, and up. Like, no one's talking about them. Like, how are y'all not smart about this? How are y'all not clocking in? And it's Danielle for me walking away from this, talking about Bob's my boy and like that's my number one and da 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 da. But like, did you go tell Bob what the tea was? You just said it's not the plan and walked away. It's Carolyn for me. You want to do this already? Why do you want to do this right now? Why are we doing this right now? Carolyn was more in there. Way more in the knowing of who Boston Rob is and like, huh? Like, why are we doing this right now? Her problem is she's not acting on these things. Every thought she has, she refuses to act on it, and it drives me batty. I'm like, oh my God. You literally can see what he's doing, and you're just like, oh my gosh. Like, what? It may save her. This kind of way of doing it might save her. It might carry her very far. But I feel Boston will be taking her or Danielle very quickly. I have a feeling he wants to remove these women and remove them out and put his people in as traitors that he can work with and use, but also manipulate in a sense. Just like with Zac Efron's brother, like he's literally doing now. Did I put this in the correct order? I did not. Okay. Let's just get to the round table because Boston Rob was putting in the work against Bob, basically. Wes' argument is for Nikki. And he wants Nikki gone based off of the, full traitor in the coffin situation makes the most sense. Came in too cool. Okay, bet. Peppa Pig, the police officer over here, had an argument for Sierra being a traitor because just like how in his profession, when someone is guilty in being interrogated, they swear. And when they swear, that means that they're not telling the truth. This is how that the training has worked out. People that swear. So Sierra is a traitor because she swore. I wonder how many people are in jail right now because of you and swearing. I wonder. Anywho, so Sierra was pleading her case because she's a nurse, and maybe that made him feel better, just like a judge would be, since, having a job makes her look more professional. And apparently that's a way to uh, tell if someone's a good human being or not. I am not even playing with you. I remember one time I was in court and the judge was like, "You look nice and well presentable, so I'm going to go ahead and drop these charges." I'll never forget it because of what I was wearing. And my dad was like, "See, this is a lesson." And I'm like, "That's scary." He's like, "Exactly." Now imagine it's your minority this, sexuality that, this, that, and the other, all on top. And now you got to go in here and have people look at you and then make a decision. He said, that's why sometimes you got to play a part when you walk into a courtroom, and why they say that dress code matters, because that's how they play the game. And this is just like with clubs too. Dress code. I'm just saying, everybody that dressed like that is not a criminal. However, because profile and people want it. So when he did this to her, and I'm not trying to put him there, but I'm also going, why would you use this kind of psychology in this game specifically? She didn't kill nobody. I mean, no one's really doing that, but I'm also, I don't know. This part I didn't care for, and I wouldn't want to hear him bring up arguments anymore based off of what he does for a living. Because in reality, he's saying she's a traitor based off of the lie. She's not a traitor. So again, how many people are in jail because of you? Just saying. Now, Pickled Face McGee over here, Zac Efron's brother, is losing his shit watching them go to different people that he doesn't want to take out. He is losing his shit. Y'all, the way his face was getting red and getting so flustered in this moment, and how much of a puss you were. Yes, such a punk. I was like, bro, why don't you speak up then? Since you were so damn sure the last time, you're not able to present an argument now. You already talked to Rob H. What's he gonna do? Not back you up? He literally just walked up to you with his whole, hey, you want to get out the gay? Sure. I'm kidding. That's not what they were saying. They didn't say that. Rob presented a argument against Bob that was very sound, but also it was literally telling on himself, if you will, and do all that and then some. Very much a case of deflection. But I'm like, you could have used the same argument for Dylan since he's had a hard on for Bob. Like, what are we talking about today? But he's like, who is the one person in the room that's always controlling the conversation? Basically saying he's loud, flamboyant. Who is the person who's always deflecting and changing it to another person? Which in reality, that didn't happen. It was Bob being accused and it defending himself, but then Robin was there, then them trying to back it all up. So I thought to myself, like, okay, where are we going with this? He goes, Bob. And Bob, and I thought, I hate your fucking face. Oh my God. The way you're like, it's so hard to come at you because everybody just likes you so much, it's really hard. And I don't want to be wrong, but like, I hate, hate, hate. And I'm glad he said that your brother doesn't act because he's not a good actor, in my opinion. And yes, I saw the Iron Claw, and there can be few exceptions, but a lot of people think Keanu Reeves can act, and I know better. I was here for that dragging. Dolores, that's too much. Shut up. You have literally almost beaten up Danielle for being in your presence. You have got to be kidding me, Dolores. You have got to be kidding me. That's too much. He talked about the acting. He could have gone way deeper. He could have got real here if he wanted to. Let's not do that. Couldn't believe that. That's not. Shut your goofy ass up. Anywho, Bob over here, I will put you in the sand. Da, 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 da. I said, Bob, as strong as your comebacks are right now, as great as this is, look at how Rob is looking at you. He's giving you you are now flustered and you have literally, it's like everybody's been caught, this, that, and the other, and he's making you look like you are guilty. I will say in all of this, though, you literally told them that he is also a traitor. In so many words, because you can't just directly say it. And you did kind of directly say it back to him because you're like, I'm accusing you too. You did land several blows to Rob, that Rob is a traitor. No one wants to hear that right now because they've been trying to get one and they know their favorite pinkberry yogurt over here has been crying for Bob to get out since last week and the week before. Like, you're just so to a lot. When they started to vote and they had to give their decisions, and this is where, to me, I looked at Danielle and I was like, you're scary too. You ain't about shit either. I'm gonna be real with you. And again, Bob played a bad game. I'm not denying that at all. Bob played a bad game. I gave several reasons prior to us getting to this point where I said, you told on yourself. You, Bob, played a horrible game this day, especially. And you actually had so many get out of jail free cards. You had so many moments where they couldn't clock you. You had so many moments where everybody was still focused on someone else because there was that one person. But the moment you said, no one's looking at the new players, hello, one of them is your traitor, brethren, and friend, and he's one of the biggest snakes to ever exist in the history of reality television. I implore you, clock in, Cicely Tyson. Wake up, Pearl. You got to be here because, like, it is what it is. But Danielle, you went back on everything that you said. You did exactly what you didn't want Brittany to do to you, the season of reindeer games. And this, to me, told me a lot. And as much as I like Danielle, I'm like, this right here, for me, come on now, sister. To me, I'm gonna look at you funny. As a faithful, I'm gonna look at you funny. I am. I'm looking at you funny for this because that was your boy. You talked it up, did that for a little bit. I'm gonna look at you funny for the rest of it. The table wasn't with Bob the drag queen. The table was actually Nikki and Bob was the majority of it. I don't know why there was a vote for Sierra. I'm like, what the fuck is going on here? Bob had the majority, but when it's the table, Durga, that's when it's unanimous. It was not a unanimous decision, unfortunately. But it was a damn near. It was pretty much a run when it got towards the end of it, if you will, letting me know once again. Had Bob did this, had we not opened our mouth, none of that happened, Nikki or Sierra would have been the one to go home. And I guarantee you it would have been Nikki, and then they would have murdered Sierra. Or better yet, they would have got Nikki out, murdered someone else, and planted it on Sierra. And they would have had 3 more days, or at least 2, without anyone getting caught. Bob, you could have made it episode 6. I'm being real with you. I love you, bro. I love you down, but you could have made it to episode 6. They were already targets from the moment y'all walked in and who is in the bookcase. And they're talking about, well, it was me and Dylan and Sierra. That's 3 right there. Hello, hello, hello. Like, Bob had a grand exit. I hated everyone celebrating this. It destroyed me as a person. I felt like how I feel today about a certain thing that's taking place. Danielle, save your tears. You low-key did this. You are scared of Boston Rob, and you didn't do any work in order to save the situation. Rob literally walked around that fucking castle and got those votes, baby. What are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? The person who it feels so bad. You do not. At the end of the day, I know you need this money just like everybody else that's up there, except for a few of them that are in that house. And you're trying to provide for yourself. So I totally get it. Like, do what you got to do. But you definitely did puss out. You're going to have to wake up. You're playing a very dumbass game too. And now that Bob's gone, all your stupid decisions will be much louder. Very loud. Very, very loud. You can't hide behind Bob anymore. That's the tall hide, baby. And you know who else I'm getting sick of? We're making the bad decisions. We just gave Rob the game. You did, Carolyn. You and Danielle did. Wake up, both of you. Carolyn, you're a little bit better ahead of her than Danielle is. You're a lot ahead of her because you actually keep your mouth shut. But you cannot let Rob run the Traitors room. Y'all have got to stop this. It's ridiculous. He's going to get all of you out and replace y'all with people he likes, and it's going to be a really weird and unfun game for the rest of us. Please, for the love of God. I just don't know what's going. Like, if Taz does not get, baby, Bugs can only run around you 3 times, sweetie. You're gonna have to eat him eventually. You're gonna have to eat him. So we see that Zac Efron's brother and Rob H, Boston Rob, whatever the hell that man's name is, are now in cahoots with each other because their plan came together and it worked out just fine. Unbeknownst to original face brother here, Boston Rob is going to be using him and take him all the way to the final and then rip that money out of his hand. So you know what? I might want Rob to win just for that to happen. But I have a feeling that this smile and this, I know that you were going to bring me up here and do, no. He would be better off with getting him out and keeping Tom Sandoval and letting his really sweaty, looks like he's completely coming off something, go all the way to the finale. That's what I need to happen. But what I would like to happen and what I like to see is one of my favorite people on television who I have seen do masterwork. Even on House of Villains, masterful work. I need Wes to wake up and stop playing in the background. He's been doing it for a while, which is fine, but now is the time to start taking aim, and you cannot miss. You literally had the best argument in place. You were so quick. You were so sure of yourself, both you and Dylan, that Bob was a traitor. And who would know who a traitor is? A traitor. I said, girl, now wait a minute. Because then you could plot that on, you could low-key put it on Dylan too. Like y'all just didn't want to you know what I'm saying? Y'all just didn't want to work with Bob no more, so you just got Bob out. Maybe they weren't on the same plan as you and doing what you need to do. Oh, bitch, he can literally make a whole narrative out of why Rob did what he did that round table and pull Dylan ass into it too. And Dylan's puss, so he's not going to be able to like do anything. You seen Dylan, what? Whenever he did, the Bob argument fell through. So like it's easily done. He ain't nobody. Like Rob would be the one he's gonna have to go toe to toe with, but he needs someone to come with him that can eat Rob up. And Bob's not there no more to do that. Wes, if he wanted to, and Bob was still there, and Bob was actually playing the game, that'd been easy, quick, light work. He's gonna have to find someone to come in there and tag him. He's gonna have to find someone to come in there and tag him, baby. And they have to be able to be sure of every word coming out their mouth, because Rob is not the girl to play with. It's not the one to play with. Rob is not the one to play with. He will get you like he did Bob. You saw how he did it. Laid a bomb out and let Bob just explode. Mm-hmm. We're on episode 4, so I'm not quite there yet to rate it with the other 2 seasons just yet. I'd like to get at least close to the finale first, because season 2 was good until we had the winners. Season 1 was the best, I think, so far for me. I liked it a little bit better than season 2. I love Phaedra, and that was a good time, but like I hated who won that season infinitely. And it felt like we were rewarding the person that was targeting Peppermint. So I was like, nah, didn't like that. But the first season was great. And again, I always root for the Traitors, and Siri won, and she won magnificently. Like she played that game so well. Even when they were trying to clock her, when she was up, we were talking about her. She was able to argue herself out of everything. Oh, it was so good. It was so good. So like for me, I need a traitor to win this season. If Rob won, I would be like, no, but I'd also be like, Rob did what a traitor is supposed to do. Make it all the way to the end and gag him. Do that. But yes, we'll see if one of our favorites here actually clocks in and does the work. But I was here for the, well, who would know who a traitor is? A traitor. Gross. All right. So the episode ends with the Traitors, of course, meeting in the turret and them looking at Rob, and Rob being like, watch him be like, I'm sorry, they were already saying his name. Blah, 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 blah. And you know they're going to be idiots. Who is saying his name? They're just going to listen to every word. They're not going to be like, he's the one that did this. He set it up because Bob said that. Then no one's going to do their work. They're not paying attention. It's going to piss me off. So I'm praying, because the trailer only showed Carolyn and Danielle in it. They didn't show anybody else in the trailer, in like one clip of Rob being like this. But y'all got to take a shot now. You're going to have to take a shot right now. You got to take a shot now. Align yourself with the gingerbread man, and y'all better get on over there. Don't hide. Don't ride on the fox's back now across the water. Don't hide. Don't ride on that fox's back, because you don't want to get wet. You got to take that gingerbread man. You hear me? All right? Get on a donkey. All right? And you're going to need to play a song by Bonnie Hunt. What is it? I need a hero. It's going to get you where you need to go. Promise you. I promise you. It worked in the movies. Either way, I do like this season. It's a good time. I hated that one of my faves went out the way that they did and played such a sloppy game. I do understand, though, emotionally speaking, mentally speaking, the headspace they were in as someone who's also lost their mother. Like they did that 2 weeks prior to going there. Even though I would want to do something like that and I would never miss that opportunity, I know in a game like that specifically, where it's like you gotta lie, you gotta like defend yourself, you gotta do physical challenges too, you have to social game. I would be feeling a lot of different emotions at the time, and it would be a really tough journey. So I send my love to Bob, and I was just happy to see one of my favorite people on TV again. If they give you the All Stars 2 call, please take it, friend. Please take it, friend. And I was sad to see Jeremy go as well. There was a lot of discourse that happened over the season, and there are a lot of homophobic comments that have been made. This happened last season with the transphobia that took place. But a lot of the folks that are watching the show, whether they're Housewife fans against the Drag Race fans, there are some like challenge people. This one account that I used to follow, I had to not follow that account anymore because I was like, wow, your homophobia is kicking. And with this whole, I will do everything in my power to make sure someone from Drag Race never ends up on the challenge. The fuck is wrong with you? This show brings out the best and the worst in people, and so does a lot of reality TV. And there are a lot of people who could not take a show's edit or understand and emotionally process things like an adult sometimes, to the point to where it does seem like we are missing the plot, in that you either weren't coddled or held as a child for long enough, or the school system that you were part of failed you. And that's not to shade you, but it's to be like, get a goddamn grip. We're watching a TV show. Y'all are taking this fucking way too seriously. We can be passionate about our takes on the show, but when it gets to the personal level, when it gets to the point where it's like, it's like, sometimes it's just not a good season. Sometimes it's just not the best cast for you. Sometimes it's just not what challenges you want to see. But we got to stop speaking on behalf of others like you are the last voice in the room, and that everything that you say will be and that ends. It doesn't work that way. It's not life. I mean, it probably will be for some of us after today in the United States, but either way, I like this show a lot, and I've decided not to participate in social media banter and conversations about it because it ruins the point of the show. It ruins the love and the fun that we have about shows and music and television. And I'm proud. And yes, I'll pat my own. Yes, bitch, that I've literally been fighting with not engaging with. I have so many comments in my drafts, bitch. You don't even know. There are so many comments I have wanted to just like eviscerate people, and I leave them on I left him in drafts because I'm like, nah, if I ever wanted to come back to it, thin bitch. But I don't want to engage with that. It's weird, bro. It's 5 a.m. in the morning and y'all are yelling about a TV show. Stop it. Like, it's not fun. It's not fun. It's not fun anymore. So I have fun with this show. I think it's a good time. Bob played a bad game. Bob got eliminated for playing a bad game. Jeremy got eliminated for opening his mouth and saying Danielle's name too quick, and she was a traitor who was playing a very scary game. So he got her out quick. I mean, she got her out quick. I mean, she got him out quick. So what is to happen next with Danielle, Carolyn, and Rob H being the only traitors left? There were 4. Do they need another one now, or is it too soon? Is another traitor supposed to leave before they recruit another one back in? And, who is going to be eliminated tonight is also the question. Who do they get out to then blame certain things that happen now that they know a traitor is gone, but there are traitors still left in the room? They got to start making some moves. And I need Carolyn and Danielle to clock in because those are the 2 I'm rooting for right now. But yeah. Anywho, I'd love to hear your thoughts and opinions on this week's episode, or last week's episode, I should say, of The Traitors in my comment section. Please don't forget to hit the like button too. And if you did want to drop a tip in my jar, please and thank you. It's PayPal.me for /MattyRants. Cash out MattyRants and Venmo Matty-Rants. I will see you again Friday for episode 5 of The Traitors. So instead of Mondays like we've been doing, like we are doing today, Friday, I will see you for episode 5. So we don't have to wait too long to talk about this episode. We'll be talking about it at the same time, same place, 2 p.m. Pacific, 4 p.m. Central, 5 p.m. Eastern here on my channel. Hopefully some decisions will be made that are better than what we have witnessed. I'm really nervous for this next episode. I gotta am. So yes, I'll be doing that Friday with you for Traitors. Don't forget, I do Drag Race season 17 on Saturdays, the panel on Sundays, and the rant report, hot topics on Mondays. If you do want to find me in any of my other social media spaces and places, that's all in the About section with the Linktree link. I do reactions to each and every episode, just like this one for the Traitors, Drag Race, and other shows on my Patreon for as low as $1 a month. Bookable on Cameo for special requests, and I have merch available at dragqueenmerch.com. Still an affiliate partner with Paramount Plus. Get that free week of Paramount Plus on me. A P.O. box if you did want to drop something into the box, and I do a live opening here on my channel. But other than that, I need you to do me this favor. Take care of yourselves and love yourselves first. I want to see you again so I get to talk to you about our favorite TV shows and other things happening in our lives and us just having a good old time. So yes, have yourselves a good one, everybody. Thank you for tuning in. I'm going to stay as warm as possible. We got a winter storm tomorrow. I'll pay attention to my social media if I update y'all on anything. I most certainly will be posting pictures of me in the snow if it snows like that, but we'll see here. But yes, the Traitors, it's on Peacock every Thursday night, and we talk about it every Friday afternoon here on my channel. So yes, I love y'all down. Thanks for tuning in. I had such a good time today. Thanks to Liam. I saw you, Moderator, who was in the chat earlier today. Appreciate the Liams here. And also shout out to Emrica. When they have time, they'll do the timestamps. I know they had a recent minor surgery here, y'all. So if you do see Emrica in the comment section, make sure you send them a little bit of love because it does go a long, long way. I'll see you for the next one. Bye. I still hate Dylan.
Listen. Yeah.